Good morning, my name is Tumi Tladi and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this video is the first video of mine that you're currently watching, I'm gonna urge you to watch my other previous video. There's a video titled Introduction to Identical Dogs. There you will hear me setting out expectation for this YouTube channel, what to expect, what is it that I intend to show, like everything. So I believe this is video number 74 if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of videos that I've already made, and the content on this YouTube channel, it's good. It's nothing but the raw goodness, you know. And then of course then there we have some issues with the Visual Studio. In the previous video it became unresponsive and I had to shut it down, but then again I went to Azure DevOps because I can still be, you know, effective and then productive even on the cloud. Okay, please do watch my previous series. It's on version control. We covered every single video here. I still intend to do part 4 of CI/CD pipelines on Azure DevOps, so please watch this video. It's fantastic. Now back to Web API series. So yesterday we covered the main feature. So this is where the features are. They begin from here. Version updates, we did cover that. We did show from the admin portal side, and then the entire code within the Web API for both .NET Framework and .NET Core. And today we're about to do the same thing when it comes to businesses. Do you see it's titled businesses, not business, it's businesses. Okay, so let me go to Visual Studio for a bit because there we need to, you know, so basically I'm still busy with the V3 system. As I said, Web API is a version system, and we did cover a video on contracts. And I'm going to show briefly the V3 for businesses, you know, what I intend to do here. So I'm still busy on .NET Core Web API. As you can see, I have 26 commits. So this will be a 27th that I'm committing right now. Okay, and then we need to close this guy. And then we'll come back to this in a couple of seconds. Perfect. So businesses, let me launch. This is .NET Framework MVC. This is MVC. And also just to recap, this project, this is 2-in-1. It's both MVC and Web API. This is .NET Framework. This is the project that I'm currently having running in Firefox. So let me log out so we can start this whole process from ground up. Okay, so now this is strictly .NET Core Web API. So I'm going to focus here. So now we're talking about businesses, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about first. So this is what everybody will get to see right now. Now only the clients that are authenticated needs to use this. I just noticed something, that this YouTube user account doesn't want to work. So I'm wondering, is it the password? It says this account is being logged out. Please try again. I don't know what's wrong with this account, but I'll check it. So I'm gonna try to use the alternative account, which is test1. Okay, so test1 is this person. See, test1 is authenticated, as you can see. Yes, test1 is this gentleman. Let me see. This guy. These are my clients. They're called clients. This guy is his customer. So this guy, he's the one that adds a business, right? So as you can see, they have access to business. Now remember, this is .NET Framework. I want to open .NET Core version and log in as administrator. Okay, so test1 has in total 11 businesses. All right, 11 businesses, and then these are the businesses. Now if you see that, is it online? No, that means it's not online to be discoverable by the customers. All right, and then as you can see, if this one says it's online, yes, you see based on the color of, you know, this icon, and then they are not deleted. None of them are deleted because I'm the only one who can delete these businesses, right? So let me just, so these are the demo businesses. So that I was testing, and that I'm using to test. So in total there are 11. He can still add another business, but that's not what we're going to be doing. This is what he has, right? Cool. Now when it comes to business, let's look at Max IT Solutions. Now he can edit the trading hours. This is part of the businesses. So this is the trading hours. As you can see, I'm currently on trading hours controller, so you can that he specified Monday if it's open or not. Yes, it's open 9:15 until 3:45. Tuesday is closed, Wednesday is closed, Thursday is closed, Friday is closed, Saturday is closed, and Sunday is closed. So it opens one day. This is the information that the mobile application will need. Now, let me do this. Let me go. There's no need. I can just do this quickly. Open just screenshots because I wanted to use your phone app here in Windows 10, to mirror my phone, but that's the problem. So I'm looking for the screenshot, by the way. So this is, by the way, stay tuned for the major series on Xamarin where I'm going to show how I did it. This how I did it, the another application from Xamarin. So these are the businesses. All of these are the businesses. In fact, let me use example of Carricho La Pipas. Yeah, let's see if we can find that business, Carricho La Pipas. Carricho La Pipas. There we go. So I'm going to use this example, Carricho La Pipas. So let's go back to trading hours. So it opens Monday and opens on Sunday. Okay, so this is information like I was saying. So if we go back, we look at the services that he's offering. Again, Carricho Papers, services that he's offering. So this is part of the business's object when it comes to my clients. So services for Carricho Papers, right? He supports printing and then he supports copying. So when we go and check information for the printing, yes, he says he's printing with color and then the page is 5 rand. He's printing black and white and page is 2 rand, right? Let's go back. And also copying, he supports copying, so he copies. Let's see, give this guy a couple of seconds. Because I don't want to make this video a bit long. So yes, he supports making copies with color, 3 rand, and then black and white, 150 cents. So this information about this guy when it comes to all the businesses, right? I hope you understand, right? So I'm about to show the administrator. Now let me go as administrator. This is .NET Core version because it's hosted on different domain. Okay, so let me authenticate myself as the administrator to show you what I have access. So new admin, log in. Because these are 2 separate domains, so there's no issue. So this is me as administrator. I'm authenticated. I have access to all the tasks on the system, while including businesses, and that's what we're going to be covering. We still want to get it to the web API, but first I'm showing you the context. So it's loading all the businesses from the system. And while I keep on doing this, I also identify some bugs because I realize there's some serious bugs. I don't know why. Yeah, but there's some bugs. Okay, why is this guy not loading? Come on. I'm assuming that it's still loading. Okay. Now, these pins on the mobile app. So this is the map. These pins are the businesses. So I'm about to show how the mobile app ends up having these pins, and I'll do a live demo when I get to a Xamarin series that I intend to do after we complete this list, because we have to complete these features step by step and in detail. Okay, cool. So all businesses, let me refresh. This control is called sync fishing control for MVC targeting.NET Core. So it seems like it's been funny. Okay, so let's do this. Let's log out from here, and if there's a bug, I need to know about it. And let's authenticate ourselves with the same account. This is .NET Framework. So new admin. Let's see what's happening. Come on. He is authenticated. Tasks. I'm gonna go to businesses. What's happening? So these are the businesses. So what's happening with this control? So it seems like it's not working. So I'm just gonna shut this one. I'll go back and forth. Or maybe I can use this as a normal user. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's log in again with the test1 account and see if we still see the same data. because I'm also testing my own system and see if it's still working. Because when I build, I don't really focus. See, now I have access to businesses, and this is a role-based system, by the way. See, I know there's a bug when it comes to .NET Core. It's pulling businesses that do not belong to test one. Yeah, so this won't work because I know about this bug, and then I'm just being reminded. You see, I told you that I'm gonna be open and honest, but we're gonna use one business, which is calculator papers. Okay, it's gone. Okay, so now this is .NET Framework. I'm gonna start with it. So let me start with the controller. We need the controller, Web API, V1, and I'll show briefly about V3 and then what's unique there. So I'm gonna go to a folder called business. Please watch how I structure properly my systems. So this is a business folder. I'm gonna go to a business underscore V1 controller. Yeah, I was debating, should it be businesses or just a business? It's supposed to be businesses, but I'm not gonna refactor it. Because if I refactor it, then I have to refactor V1, V2, V3. So V3 is gonna have to be the one, or V4, the next version. Okay. So I'm waiting for this guy to wake up so that I don't cause a Visual Studio to become unresponsive. Because yesterday it did that nonsense of being unresponsive out of nowhere, and I hate that. Because when the Visual Studio it's in idle mode, it's doing some weird stuff, particularly when it's connected to the internet, weird stuff, and I don't like that. While it's still loading, we're waiting for it to finish loading everything. If the material on this video particularly you're gonna find it helpful, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have any. The most important thing that you can do is to subscribe, so that you have access to the notification icon. When you click it, you'll be notified when I drop videos. Today I dropped 5 videos today on this series. I recorded one yesterday, it's long, and this one I'm recording it, I'm gonna upload it early this week or later this week. Okay, so we have the controller, so let's close everything and let's pin the controller because we're gonna use it. Now the controller is what is gonna guide us. We need everything, absolutely everything. We're gonna do this step by step, and I'm also gonna show a version of .NET Core. So please pay attention and listen to me carefully and check how I program. All right. So we have the using statements. I don't care about them. Now, this controller inherits from API controller. It's the most important thing. This .NET Framework. And then we have a global variables and application DB context. So it will talk to the guy that's responsible for the database, right? Based on this guy, we need access to the guy. And then, but I saw some sort of a redundancy yesterday, but let's check. So note that I'm also using the comments, and I have endpoints. This is where they begin. This block of comment, it's for Swagger. This one, particularly for Swagger. So I'm saying for mobile, this is where we get all the businesses only if they are not deleted and are online. Do you see there's a condition? Only if they are not deleted and also they're online. We're taking it in the mobile application. But also my web APIs are also being utilized. This is Xamarin. They're used by Xamarin, but also WPF. Okay. I still need to refer to these comments. And then we are only returning 200. Get all, but this is wrong because I'm supposed to also returning 404 because the condition says only if they are not deleted and are online, meaning that there's a possibility that I may not find any, so that will return 404. I hope it makes sense. Get all the businesses in the system only if they're online or are not deleted. Okay, so now we spoke about this HTTP verb, right? This is HTTP get. And then this is the route. So that means we need access to this class called API routes v1. So let's go to it, contract. Web API v1. This is the class that we need. And then this class, we're going to focus on this static class called the business. So let's give this guy a couple of seconds before it hangs. Okay, so that we need that guy. And what we need this object, which is get all business response v1. So let's go back to contract. web API v1 responses. We'll find a folder called business, and then we need, there's a lot that we need here. We need to get all responses, and then what else do we need? We need for automapper business. Okay, I'll come back to this in a second. Let's go back to automapper web API v1 business v1. We need this guy based on the controller, and then what we need, application DB context. Yeah, let's go and get it so I can be thorough. Identity, to show you that to show you that I know my system very well. So this application DB context, we need it, and then get all business. Yes, that's perfect. And then here we need to get just a business response. So close this one, close automapper. Let's go back to controllers, contracts, and we just need to get business, just the business response, which is this one. We'll come back to this, how everything's been wired up, and we need this get application user response. That one is on general. Here it is, get application user response. So we need a class, and then we need to get the business hours response. Here it is, and then we need to get business hour details response, which is this one, and I believe we are done with the contracts. I'm just being careful that Visual Studio doesn't become unresponsive. So these are the responses, okay, and then we're still moving. Before I explain in detail what on that is happening. Cool. Now we can get the party started. Right. The first thing on the global variable, we needed this guy, an instance to this object that's being instantiated, which is application DB context, right? So let's look for it. Application DB context. So on application DB context, based on this object, which is businesses, I should show businesses. It's very important before we go further. I'm gonna go to tables, business. There's businesses. We might need this again. So what happens is that based on what you saw on the businesses, right? I have a business entity data model. This is what creates the actual table called the businesses. And I have a constructor. I'll come to a constructor. I have a primary key, which is business ID, business name, business info, business address, latitude, longitude, business number. Please note every single property. And please, let me teach you. Be teachable. And then when was it created on? Is it online? Is it deleted? And then who owns that business, right? And then I use this navigation property for who owns it to get information from application user. And then we also have navigation property to business hours. And we have navigation property to printing services and then copying services. Okay. Why are they important? Okay, on the constructor, this is where I get to initialize the business ID by just creating the new GUID. And then when was it created? At the time of this object was created. Is it online? No. Is it deleted? No. These are default values. So now you understand. I'm not going to come to this guy. So then we can go back to application DB context to say, listen, application DB context. Now this is where we create. Now this is what will create the actual table in the database. But notice this property. Okay, so we're done with this. So we can make sure that this guy is going to become responsive. Now, we read this block comment, we read this guy, we were on the route. So on the route, we're looking at this class API routes v1. There's a static class called business, right? Business. So let's look at for business. And then when it comes to business, they said what? We're going to go to get all businesses for mobile. This is a constant variable. Okay, here it is on line 11, so it will take the base. We can see the base, the version number, and then this will be the actual API endpoint, right? Cool. So the mobile application and the desktop application knows this. Okay, so we'll come back to this class because we need it again. As we continue, so we have defined the verb or the method and now the route. Then the response type, it's of type a list, enumerable of get all business response, get all. Notice get all. So this is get, this is how I program. It's going to be action, or verb get, and then this is going to be all of the businesses, and this is the response. That means we are sending data down to the mobile application on the desktop application. So we need that get all business response, which is, where is it? Here it is. Notice what I only expose back to the client when it comes to get all. Notice what I only expose. So this is why now this is a version the system, right? Because in here I cannot add additional property, because this belongs to version 1. As you can see, it's inside the folder version 1. If I need to add another property, let's say, let me pull down when was the business created for the sake of the desktop or mobile application, I will then need to create a v4, because currently I'm on v3. So this, in the MVC world, it's like a V model, but in Web API, this is a response or a request. We're not dealing with the V models in Web API at all. We're dealing with requests and responses. In this case, this is the response. The only thing I'm asking is, listen, when it comes to those pins that you saw, these pins, they only represent few things. I'm only asking for 4 things: the name of the business number, latitude and longitude. Now, why is it so important? Because for it to be on the map, it needs a longitude and longitude. So that one's simple. Now, this is the business number, IGHQ. It's a business number. We'll talk about that. This is the name of the business. Now, I hope you follow along. So we are done with get all. So that's what we're going to return, a list. That's why there are plenty on the mobile application, but there's a condition, and that's what we're about to see. All right. So now, like I said in the previous video, that the endpoints should be public so that they can be exposed. Now, I'm an asynchronous programmer, so everything's asynchronous. Okay, so we're gonna return our HTTP action result. Now, the name of the method or the endpoint is get businesses. Now, this one, it's get business for mobile. I guess I still need to refer to this because it's not only targeting mobile anymore, but there's a desktop. Now, because we're returning a list, we need to instantiate that a list, like we need to instantiate the object. So a list. I wonder why didn't I use IEnumerable? I'm wondering because these are the flaws in the system. Why am I not using? Because I know this guy inherited from, I believe, IEnumerable, but it's supposed to be consistent. This should be IEnumerable, and of this object. So we have get all business response 1. That's what we're going to be returning eventually, which is data code. Okay. And I'm using AutoMapper. I'm not going to talk about what AutoMapper was able to fix because I'm trying to keep this video short. But just know AutoMapper here it is. It's able to now map everything. So we need this guy before we go further. So where is it? Profile. So we'll come to this guy. Yes, let's do this. Like I've been saying, when it comes to AutoMapper, any class that you create, it should append profile at the end because they inherit from profile. So it should become easy what this class is all about. We only need the constructor where we're gonna say, listen, create map. Now you're gonna take this as the source. This is the entity data model. This will be the destination. As you can see, get all. So we are mapping. So we did the AutoMapper. Please watch that previous video. This is me mapping. Okay, so we're done with that. So we are saying mapper configuration, new mapper configuration. It has options. On the options, we're going to add the profile, which is the one we just took a look at. And we're going to go to the mapper. Using that mapper configuration, we're going to create the actual map, right? And then I'm going to use this using statement. This block of using statement, there's something I'm wondering that. Okay, no, it's fine. I was gonna ask that what's the purpose of this because I see it's being used somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna say, listen, let's go to application DB context. This is gonna be what's gonna allow us to talk to that class, right? So var business. Now I wanna show you that what comes back, it's a list, identical docs dial, tables, businesses. So it's gonna be a list of businesses. And I don't program like this. I usually say businesses underscore list. So I'll refer to this code. Okay, so we're gonna say await application DB context, go to that property businesses where there's the condition. Where the business is false, if it's deleted, it's false. That means it's not deleted. And if it's online, yes, it's online. So that's the first part of the requirement. Then what we do is that, listen, when it comes to the user, there's another issue don't just expose all the businesses. Whereas, let's say Kagisho's La Papers, Kagisho being the owner of this business has actually been removed from my system. So don't expose that business. So that's the condition right there to say. And also, if the user dot there is deleted property, it's false. But if it's true, that means I removed it there. I deleted the user, but the user is not deleted on the system. So that's a flag for it. And we're going to use the include to say include the application user and then return that as a list asynchronously. And then I'm going to loop inside those businesses using for each. And then what I'm going to do is that, listen, this is a source, right? On the particular item or the index of the on the list or that particular business, this being the source, we're going to, out of mapper, we're going to now map that source into a destination. And once we are done, we're going to add it inside the list that we're about to return for all the businesses. Once we are done, we're going to check, hey, is this list empty or not? If this list is null, that means there's nothing. We're going to return 44. You see, it's flawed. There's a flaw in my system because I should show that we also need to return 44. So that's a flaw. And then we're going to return a list of the businesses. Finally, we are done. But this is only get all businesses. But what about this one? This one says get a single business in the system, right? So this is what happens. That's why I'm using this screenshot. After getting all, and then you typed in IGHQ, and then you hit this button search. I'm gonna do this in live when I get to Xamarin. You're gonna now be presented by this information about it. You see the business, the information, what the name of the business is, which is Kagisho's La Papers, the business info, this is the description, and then who owns it. This is me pulling down that application user object, and then there's some stuff down here. Okay, so this is me getting a specific single business in the system, right? So you see this is correct. We are returning 204. Get a single business in the system. Notifies that no business was found in the system to show result if it's 44. Again, HTTP get, we have the route still going to that API route v1 for business. This time it's get one business. So let's go back to see the second route. Get one business, the base v1. You see now it says get one business, but I'm gonna give you the business number. Do you see it expects a business number? And this is how you do it. This is how you show that I'm expecting a business number. So we are done with this class. We don't need that again. And then the response type, like I said, it's of type get business response. So we need get business response. This guy. So this one is crazy. Here we're expecting that business ID. Where am I using it? Stay tuned when we get to Xamarin. Why are we using this guy? We need the name, obviously. That's what we are seeing here. Name, info, owner, and the rest of information like address, latitude and longitude, business number. We need everything, whether it's online or not, and if it's deleted. But this doesn't make sense. Why are we putting this information if it's online or not when we have already filtered? Oh no. Okay, now I understand. Okay, and then this is what will represent. Please, this is something that I want you to remember. This I'll probably come back when I'm on Xamarin. Because on Xamarin, it will look for this property name. It needs to map. I don't know why, because usually I like to give the name of the properties out of the name of the object itself. I don't know if you've noticed. If you look at the controller, you will see that returns. This is the name of the object. Get the business response. I only now make sure that this guy becomes lower cases, or the first character becomes lowercase. So then when I was teaching myself this and then mastering it, I learned I can't use a get underscore application user. No, I can't use that. I have to use what the mobile application expects. So just know that. Because in the mobile application I'm using MVVM, so I'm expecting application user model. It's the part of the M, which is model, and then also I'm putting down information about the hours. You see that when we do live demo, information about the business hours, the one we saw from the MVC portal, and then we need this information about the services, as you can see. The prices on the services. Okay. So let me show this class. Can I quickly do this without Visual Studio deciding to hang? Because this is a class I didn't show. Visual Studio, wake up! Wake up! Okay, so this class get the prices for it's a response. Visual Studio, Visual Studio, Visual Studio, Visual Studio. Come on. Come on, you can't do that. Okay, but you can't do that. Now it's gonna come back. Come back. Because this thing of not responding, again, I have updated Visual Studio. It's now version 16.11.1. So it's the most recent steady one. I don't know if Visual Studio is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, or it's my PC. But I know my PC is a bit slowish. But why this hang? In the meantime, let's save time. Let's go. Like I said, this is what I saw yesterday. I don't know why. So let me use Azure DevOps here. Like, I honestly don't understand. Okay, I meant to show that I have access as the administrator at all the businesses, where I can see which one is online, and then if there's one that's been deleted, so I get to see all of them. So Kahisho Papers, where is it? Kahisho. You know, I can still search, but I can go to page 2. Other DevOps, let's go to Authentical Docs in the meantime. Kahisho Papers, there we go. Kahisho Papers, as you can see, it's currently online. And this is the longitude and longitude, and this is the business number and when was it created, and the address, and I can get more information. Okay, I want to change this guy from Swedish to master. This is a very funny thing. Why does it say something's failed? I've never seen this before. Okay, I don't want to go off the script. I'll see that. Because I know I was doing CI and CD. Maybe something failed. Yes, but never mind. Okay, yes, it's a build that failed. So it's fine. Let me just continue to finish. So web API. I'm really sorry about this. Is really happening. I should just close, because look at this. It's not gonna come back. It's not coming back. And unfortunately, I cannot bring it back again. I just have to destroy, because it's going to take too long to load. So I'm really sorry about that. But like I said, I'm going to use Azure DevOps, because I need to get this out there to somebody. So that's useless. So that this PC can be faster, because I'm about to open multiple tabs. It's fine. So business, this is where we were. I'm going to open this in new tab while it loads. So like I said, I can see information about that business as administrator. I can even edit, I can delete, because I am an administrator. I can see the trading hours, and I can see the printing needs, and then the copying needs. I can see even the user. I can get to that very easy, because I invented this thing that this should be clickable to go to the controller in question if I do that. Okay, so where were we? And now I'm gonna do this. Okay. So this is where we were, right? To say, listen, there's the response are gonna be business response, and then I'm expecting that business number to come in, and then it's asynchronous, and then this will be this object we have to assign it to null. It's a must. If it's not a list, we assign it. If it's a list, we instantiate that object. And again, this is the best practice to use using keyword and a block using statement, yeah, something like that, to talk to application in context. So here we're gonna say, listen, this is how we're gonna map that object. Await, go to application DB context, go to businesses, where there's a condition again, where the business number is the same as the one that comes in. As you can see, the same one as the one that comes in. Now I'm gonna use the following includes, because this is very important. I'm gonna include application user property business printing services. I'm gonna include copying services. I'm gonna, yes, and then I'm gonna use the select to say, let's map this guy to this object, and then I'm pulling all the properties belonging to that business this business response v1 where I'm assigning ID to ID name. You get the point. And then I come back and I now get information about the application user. Do you see that application user model? This is what the mobile application is expecting based on the MVVM pattern. So I'm getting the title of the user, I'm getting first name, last name, phone number, email, title, and first name and last name. It's what we see. Well, I closed that tab, it's fine. I'm getting stuff like title. Where's the title? Title, Mr. as you saw, Kahisho McFlurry. So I can easily get to more information based on these links. So that's how I did it. Okay. And then we're getting information about the business hours. Okay, where we are mapping about what's happening Monday, Tuesday, all the way through Sunday. We're getting information about the details. When exactly are they opening on Monday, if they do open Monday? What happens on Sunday? What times? So we're getting the times. And then finally, we are now mapping the prices on the services. So for printing, if they're printing with color, I need to know is it true or false. Now, if it's you know this. So printing color is of type Boolean, right? So we're gonna check. Now, yes, if printing color is null, that means it's false. They are not. Else, yes, they are printing with color and get the price. If it's null, that means they're not printing with color, or they're not printing with black and white, and then get the, other than that, get the price for it. So the same thing with copying. They're not copying with color, else they are, and then get the price for it. They are not copying with black and white, else get they are, and then get the price. And then we are doing first or default. Don't forget this first and default, because we're getting a single and it's asynchronous. And if this object it's null, we confound it, other than we return the business. And here we have to dispose of this whole thing. But this is unnecessary, because then this guy, it will automatically dispose it, this using keyword. At least I know something about garbage control, garbage collection system. But this is not necessary anymore, so I need to remove this and also remove this method down here. It's fine, I'll refactor this system and remove this helper method. Okay, so this is the guy. So we covered almost everything. Now I want to go to .NET Core very quick. So close this guy, go to .NET Core. I just need the controller to show you the difference. Everything is practically the same, except the two differences there and there. Oh, I promised to show the V3. Remember this is V1, right? So let me do this to show you the V3. See, what I love about Azure DevOps more than GitHub is this, because it seems like, it feels like I'm in Visual Studio. So I'm gonna close the V3. I'm gonna close the V1. Sorry, I'm gonna go to V3. Business. So this is V3. So the only difference is, to protect this, I'm expecting every single endpoint that before we do anything, I'm expecting API key. So if any of the client applications will need to talk to my system, they will need to provide API key, and I'm gonna check if it's null. If it's null, return internal server error intentionally. If it's not null, there is something. Let me check if, see, I said for Xamarin. Let me check if that's what the mobile application should pass to us before we do anything. So that's a version 3. So that's get all, and this is get one. Still, after you give me the business number, you also gonna give me the API key, and I'm gonna check against the one that I have if it's not null. So this is V3. I just want to show that. Now, going back to this guy for .NET Core, right? Yes, we are on .NET Core. So .NET Core is different. We are using dependency injection. So let me close controllers. Let me go to services, V1, business, business, service is an interface. Anyway, let's open the implementation. So this is the interface, right? So here we are doing two things. Public interface, okay, for V1. We are now returning a task, because it's asynchronous, a list. You see a list of get all business response object, and this is the name of the method on this interface. Secondly, we have another method return a task of this object, where now the name of the method is just get business. That one's get businesses, and this one expecting business number. So this is the interface. The implementation of this interface is this one, where we have a global variables, including an instance to automate by instance to application DB context. So this is a new way of writing a code in .NET Core. We are using dependency injection, but I'm still going to do the same thing for .NET Framework. And we have the constructor to inject it. These guys using constructor injector, for both the application DB context and IMapper. And then we have this method get all, the same thing. We are returning this guy. We need to instantiate this object, and then business. You see how I write code. I told you this is how I write code, as opposed to even V3. It's okay. This is wrong. This one is wrong because it's just a business. But then again, I refactor it when it comes to .NET Core. Here it is where I say businesses underscore list, so I know that this is a list. I don't have to go all the way to see that, oh, I'm asking all these things as a list. No, I don't need to do that. So I'm just showing you the difference between .NET Framework and .NET Core. And then everything is the same. We're still using AutoMapper. Do you see AutoMapper? So here we're just using, we don't have to do all those funny stuff. We're just asking for the instance instead of doing the mapper configuration, all this nonsense. We don't have to do stuff like this. We're just asking for it, right? Because we just, yes, we injected, we're just asking for it. Yeah. And then the second one, there's nothing really that's different here. Everything is the same. Yeah. So that's the service. And now we go back to the controller where we injected that iBusiness service using constructor injector. And then what's unique here is that the verb or the method is in the same line as the route. So I'm not going to show the route the same thing. And then this is different, that it produces a response type of 200 of type. You see IEnumerable get all response a v1, and then it produces 4. So this is the correct one, as opposed to the first from .NET Framework that I'm not showing. This is v3, but what's missing here it's 4. But in .NET Core I got it. I'm not even showing here, but what gets to be one of the response type it's 4. So I hope you are following along. And then here I just say, listen, give me that instance, and let's just get that method get all. You see, it becomes cleaner. This is the controller. It becomes cleaner in .NET Core. So getting one, it's the same thing. I'm just getting the passing that business number that comes in. That's it. So, and the last thing, how do we register these services? This is where installers comes in. Wait, don't close everything. This is where the installers comes in. We did take a look at the video installers, and we did dependency injection. So when it comes to installers, I'm gonna go to DB installer. This is where we register our dependency injection, where business line number 27. There we go. I really apologize once again for Visual Studio becoming unresponsive, because I'm still learning how am I triggering to become unresponsive. This is what I want to show in detail, that when we get to mobile application, I'm not going to do stuff like this. I'm just going to show the app the code. The idea will be that you understand how data now gets to be on the mobile application. This is why Web API becomes critical, essential piece of service that you need in the middle. We spoke to a database. We have the portal for both the client and the administrator to manage the business, and this is the mobile application. But we'll do a live demo. I'm gonna use my laptop to do that because the Visor is running perfectly on it. With that being said, thank you very much. I hope this video was very informative. If that's the case, I hope you have subscribed, because there's more. And talk about this feature access pin. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff here. So stay tuned for more videos that are still yet to come. With that being said, let's meet again on the next video. Thank you.